Hey, welcome to today's podcast. Let me just tell you, give you fair warning. This is going to be a podcast about 3 or 4 different things, but don't you worry, I will tie it together at the end. I just got back from my mastermind and I want to share with you a couple of key takeaways. Then I'm going to talk about the fourth quarter, and then I want to talk about what you do when you join the wrong program. All right, so stick with me to the end. The mastermind, let me tell you about that. There are 2 key takeaways that I had. And the first one was just that people want community. People really are desperate to be in connection with each other, and they will pay big money for this. This mastermind that I'm a part of, people were paying to renew in this mastermind $25,000, $30,000 to be part of this mastermind. People have money to spend. I'm telling you, don't believe anyone who says people are not spending money on coaching, because I witnessed it. A lot of people were rejoining this mastermind or joining for the first time. Okay. But they were joining because they wanted connection. The other thing is, you as the coach, you get to set the tone for a big group. If you have a big group, okay, this guy has this year 100 coaches in this group. I shouldn't say coaches, because actually there's only 2 coaches that I know of. 100 people, 100 clients are part of this program. And next year he plans on having multiple times that. And nobody thought it was a big group. Like, some of you guys are like, oh, I don't want to be even in a group. I want private coaching. The people that were in this group, they love it that there's 100 people. Do you know why they love it? It's because this guy set the stage for that. He talks about the fact that he's brought so many people together, and there's so many connections and so many ways you can get support from each other and how you can do deals together. He talks about the value of a good group. So it's up to you to set the stage for what it is you create. I will tell you, the people that were there, I think that they were paying to be inspired, right? They loved the energy of inspiration, to be out of their year going to a mastermind, and out of their week. When I say that, going to their coaching, to the group coaching that we have, they were going there to get refueled, recharged, right? To move out of their office setting, to move out of their current life, right? Whatever's happening in your business, to be able to take an hour, or the 2 times we got together this year, to be able to connect with people. They wanted support from each other. They were there to achieve bigger goals. And you guys, I was in this room with people who make more money than really anybody that I know. There was people who were talking about their goals. This young guy said his goal for this year was $750 million. And he beat his goal. It was probably about August that he did that. So he needed to adjust his goal to be $1 billion. Yes. So the interesting thing about that is, these people look like ordinary people, right? In the coaching world, we often go to events and we're all dressed up, right? We're all in our Sunday best at this event. The event that I went to was actually on the beach. I literally had brought with me my suits and my scarves and heels and all that to be dressed up. And the main day of the event, I had to wear my workout clothes, because that's how casual the event was. So it's so interesting. You forget that there are so many people who have so much money that look just average, right? They've just got on shorts and t-shirts. Okay. You forget that, and we judge people. So I want you to set aside any judgment you have about who you think your niche client should be and what they should look like. Because let me tell you, there's a lot of people with a lot of money in this world, and you can't judge a book by its cover. So another interesting thing about the people that were there is that this guy's niche is not a type of business, because there was people in real estate, investment people, manufacturing, financial planners, 2 coaches, but all these other people in businesses. What brought them together was not their business, like their niche, and it wasn't men or women, old, young. What brought them together, the niche, was the drive to accomplish more, the drive to optimize their businesses. And also interesting, this guy has made a business out of optimizing family and relationships, health, and money. So wealth in your business, health, and relationships. So he's all about all of those things together. You make your business so it can almost be a self-managing company, so you can spend time in your relationships, and then you optimize your health so that you can be better in your business and better in your relationships. So you can make a niche out of anything. All right. There was people there that were, again, this guy who does yoga. all the way up to, some top financial planner, a guy who does projects for HUD in Washington, D.C. So it's so amazing what you can create. Really, anything you want to create, you can do it. So people want community. That's a key takeaway. And also, I'll just tell you, people have money to spend. All right, the second key takeaway is about thinking outside the box. Anything is possible. We are so conditioned to do what it is that's happening in our industry. So, like, we have a certain way that we do our marketing as coaches. And one of the guys, actually a gold medalist that was there speaking, he was sharing a couple of stories. I'm going to share two with you that I think will really make a difference for how you think about your business and how to think outside the box when it comes to your marketing. So, one is about Michael Phelps. It was about him working to win a gold medal. He dove into the water, his goggles filled up with water, and through the race, his goggles just kept filling up with water until they were finally completely full of water. And he could not see anything. He was literally blinded by the water that was in his goggles. And he thought, okay, I don't know what to do. I don't even know where I'm swimming. And then he decided, you know what? I'm going to go all in anyway. And I'm going to swim as fast as I can. If I run into something, I run into something. But you know what happened? Blinded, didn't know where he was going. He broke his own record. So that's an example. Again, sometimes you don't know where you're going, but his determination, right? He just went into his mind and he decided to keep going anyway. And he focused on being a winner. Okay. The next story I want to share with you is also a sports story. Because again, this guy was a gold medalist. So those were the analogies. And it's about Tiger Woods at a golf tournament in 1999. And he hit a ball and it went behind a boulder. You guys, this one's incredible. And he went over there to look to see what he could do. And the official was with him. There was no way to swing his club and get the ball out. So I guess I'm not a golfer, but you could pick up and move the ball. So he sat there for a long time thinking about it. And then he said, wait a minute, is that boulder an impediment? And the guy said, well, I guess so. Like, is that something that we should move out of the way? That's a rule in the book. Apparently you can do that. And the guy said, well, yeah. So he literally called the crowd in to come and move this 1-ton boulder out of the way. And these guys came, started trying to move it. They couldn't get it. He called more people. These guys moved the boulder while he stood there and watched him so he could hit his ball without having to pick it up and lose a stroke. That is thinking outside of the box, you guys. You guys can go on YouTube and you can see that story. That is crazy, but that's what we have to do in our business. So what are all the ways that we are letting things, letting things fail or we're giving up on things because we did it one way and it didn't work and we just thought, okay, on to the next thing, right? We're only thinking about email marketing. We're only thinking about social media. We are thinking about such few ways to grow our business. How can you think out of the box? I had an opportunity to talk with the other coach who was there, and we each got to bring somebody with us. So there's 4 total coaches, and we sat down, and we're all life coaches. We sat down and talked about business. One of the ladies, very, very successful. We were talking about how the market has ebbs and flows and about adjusting. This is thinking outside of the box, you guys, about adjusting to the cycles of life and the cycles of business. If you listen to a lot of people in the coaching world right now, they talk about coaching as if there's some problems. And I'm like, I don't know what the problem is. They talk about, the economy or the presidential election, or it's that time. All of that is nonsense to me. Because there are always people who want to buy something. And essentially, this coach who has made millions and millions and millions over 14, 15 years, a long time, she just said, it's just the way business flow is, right? You just look at what's happening and then you make adjustments. So she's made adjustments to her offer. She's made adjustments in her marketing. And she said, then you just have to be curious about how you approach your marketing. She said, what I concluded, though, is that I have lost my edge on urgency. And we kind of all agreed that we're depending on technology. We're depending on, for you, it might be your weekly email. You're depending on that to do the job. Where it used to be that when we didn't have automation on things, we didn't have social media that we could depend on. We didn't have newsletter, email marketing that we could depend on. We used to have to get kind of scrappy and figure out, how do we connect with people? We would do the extra follow-ups. I was thinking about you guys and what's the extra thing you can do. Every person who joins your email list, you know what you could do? You could send them a personal email. That is going above and beyond. And I can tell you for sure that if you started sending every person that joined your email list a personal email or Loom video like, welcome, I'm so glad you're here. It means so much to me that you connected with me. Tell me what it is you want to learn from me, or tell me what you brought, what brought you to me. If you did something like that in this world where I just shared the problem about people wanting connection and community, do you know what somebody would think if you reached out to them and said, hey, I just want to connect with you. I appreciate you. That would be phenomenal, you guys. But that's what the four of us kind of discovered, is that one of the things that we've changed in our marketing is we've allowed automation to be the thing that should create our results. And so we have to put in the extra effort. We're leaving people behind, and so are you, because you're not doing the extra effort. So we all agreed that we would take more time to do the extra things in our business. And I want to challenge you to do that too. One other note, we also kind of all decided that it takes people a little bit longer to make a decision. And I think that's because the coaching field is growing. But here's the deal, it's not a problem, right? If somebody connects in your world and starts following you, it's unrealistic to think that they'll be a customer tomorrow. Now, maybe you'll get lucky and they will. What's more realistic is for you to say, I'm going to love that person for the next 6 months. I'm going to give, and then I'm going to ask them to work with me, right? I'm going to give, and ask again. Like, it's not a problem. Provide ways for people to connect with you. Provide ways for people to get to know you. I mean, on social media, that means you have to be more open and, show who you are. Right? You have to, me and my walk and talk. People love that. Tell more about who you are. Be more consistent with that. That's how you provide that extra connection. Okay, a couple other things I just want to mention. The problem is never the problem. It's how you think about the problem. That is a quote that somebody said that I wrote down, and I was like, okay, that is so good, right? The problem is never the problem. If you don't sign anybody up for your workshop, and you think that's a problem, it's not a problem. It's how you're thinking about it. We should be thinking, again, outside the box. Like, how are we going to do this thing outside of the box? Okay. Another thing I want to mention, those of you who have experienced this, I'm not making light of this, but I'm quoting somebody. He said, don't grow cancer. So if you've had cancer, I'm not making light of it. Okay. And I don't know another word to substitute right here, but don't grow the wrong things. I guess that's a better way of saying it, right? Stop focusing on what is not working. So often we spend so much time and effort on something that is not moving the needle anyway. I know I'm guilty of that, right? What we need to do, and especially going into fourth quarter, is eliminate the things that are not working. Okay. So cut out what is not working. Don't focus on that. What you focus on grows. Okay. The problems get bigger instead of smaller. So eliminate what's not working so that you can focus in on something that could work. Last thing I want to tell you about is fourth quarter. And then I'm going to talk to you about what to do if you join the wrong program. Okay, fourth quarter. Here it is, you guys. I want you to borrow this belief of mine. This has helped me in my business for over 2 decades. The fourth quarter of the year is always my best quarter. And that goes against what anybody says. People say fourth quarter of the year, people are focused on the holidays, they're spending money on Christmas, they're not going to do anything with self-development. I just decided that was wrong, and I want you to decide it is wrong. And I prove it wrong every single year. Okay. So you need to decide how you're going to double down on your marketing, how you're going to reach people, how you're going to tell people that right now is the best time. If you are a coach who's looking to grow your business, I can guarantee you that you need to work with me right now, and you need to spend this next quarter getting your business in better shape than it's ever been, because January 1st is going to come and you want to be ready for people to buy coaching. I could sell you over and over on why you need to work with me right now. You have to do that for your clients too. You have to figure out why they have to buy from you right now, and why it has to be fourth quarter, and why the fourth quarter is the best time. Okay. So decide on your goal, figure out what money-making activity you're going to do every single day first. Probably that's something to do with marketing. Release what's not working. I just told you about that. Cut out what's not working and figure out how you're going to finish strong. Do not give up, not one day. You got 90 days in this last quarter. Do not give up one day and decide not to go all in. Okay, last thing. What do you do when you have bought the wrong coaching program? I hear this a lot. People say to me, oh my gosh, I've already spent so much money and I didn't get what I wanted. Well, you know what you do? You decide to make the best of it. So this mastermind that I'm talking to you about, is actually the single biggest investment that I've ever made in coaching. And it was a year-long program. And when I buy a coaching program like this, I only work with one coach for the year. So my commitment that I made was big. And right away, I knew, I'm in the wrong place. And I could have been mad about that. Or I could have been like, what's wrong with you? Why'd you do this? How could you not see? Instead, I decided I'm going to get everything I can get from this. So I put on rose-colored glasses and I started looking for new ways to do things. I was exposed in this mastermind to not any coaches, but to people that were making millions, to people who were in the HUD housing business, in DC, to real estate people, to financial planners, to manufacturers. But I took from them anything I could take, anything that I could learn. So I learned to see different ways that people were doing things. I learned to see how people who were making that kind of money, what were they thinking? And how was it not a big deal to them, right? I learned to watch how they made fast decisions, confident decisions, how they let things go, how they were balancing work and life, how they weren't letting things stress them out, how they were hiring what we call now gold medalists, right? The best of the best to go to work for them. So I decided that I have gotten everything I needed, and I've actually documented all the wins from this mastermind. So every time I meet with them, I write down everything that I heard, that a new awareness that I had, a new way of thinking that was created from this mastermind. And I can tell you the biggest win out of this is that I now have a multi-million-dollar business. That would have never happened if I would have been in any other mastermind besides this mastermind. So I want to encourage you, you get to reframe or put a frame around anything that's going on. Okay. So reframe what it is that you think was the wrong thing that you bought because you learned something. I guarantee you that does not help you in thinking that you've wasted money. All right. Those are investments that have brought you to where you are, and it's bound to happen again. All right. It's just the cost of doing business. So I hope I've encouraged you. I hope you are taking away today. People want community. They want to be in groups. They have money to spend. In fact, lots of money to spend, right? You need to think outside the box, whatever that is for your marketing. You need to do a little bit extra. And that's okay. That's just what's happening right now in the marketplace. So do the extra things. It's no big deal, right? Give people the time and space to make decisions to say yes to you. Remember, the problem is never the problem. Don't focus on the things that are not working, and then make that commitment for the next 90 days to make this the very best 90 days you've ever had in your business. All right, you guys, I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay, ladies, that is it for today. Before we go, I want to invite you to head over to debbieshada.com. I have this incredible Canva training specifically designed for life coaches, where I'm going to teach you how to use Canva to create beautiful graphics to market your life coaching business. All right, have an amazing week. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.